Reformed on the other side, beyond the reach of light for years. Strange lands on fire.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's a great band from Sacramento I saw live in the late 90s. I think it was 99, and I liked them. And the song is called Strange Lands Await. I've got the link in the description. Gerald Montagna is back. Jason Reed, Lisa Smith. It's been a while, Lisa. We were wondering about where you were in Kansas City. Tom is back. Old Man Odin. Brass Balls 23. Good to see you. Megatron is back. We've got Mile High Ronin. Salute to you, brother. Jawara is back. Catching alive at 200 milligrams. DHEA. I'll put some hair on your face. Good to see you, Jawara. The legendary John Boston Rat. It's freezing cold in Boston. Cuffing season is in full bloom. Cuffing season for 300 Trebek. No way I'm getting a 300-pounder like that idiot friend of mine. Not recommended. That's what we call it. Not recommended. Third world women don't respect passports since it's a route to disaster. Couldn't have said it better, Patriots won. Well said. The Fresh Prince of Nigeria is back all the way over in Africa. Hey, by the way, Fresh Prince of Nigeria, what do you think of Soulja Boy, Usman? Is he really popular? I was out for a Sunday hike. Good for you, Megatron. Steven, Arizona, would the female version of Passport Bros be Passport 304s? That should be a great sticker. I'm a proud passport bro and pure blood. Well, you're probably doing it right, John Markel. Good to see you from Brooklyn. J Love, dude, I never understood the hype about third world trick, and they're a bunch of passport simps, nothing more, nothing less. I can agree with that statement. It's dangerous and deadly. Female nature is universal. A different country doesn't mean she has different values. They're all the same. It's a different language and a different name. Redneck Red Pill is back. Good to see you. Well, here's the deal. It's dangerous. If you're going for women, let's say you're going to Colombia. Prettiest girls in Colombia are in Cali. You can't debate me on that. C-A-L-I. However, they are waiting for you. In fact, they're not even waiting for you. They're waiting for your wallet. They're waiting for you to come. First of all, you probably don't speak Spanish. And if you don't speak Spanish, you don't speak Colombian Spanish or the accent in Spanish. And you stand out. Now, for me, I'm Catire, white and blue eyes. I stand out like a sore thumb. However, I can speak the language, the culture, and I know quite a bit of the accents in different countries. I have a little bit of a blend, but anyhow, I am still a target. So if I go down there, punch up a Colombian Cupid, they're all waiting for me. Do you think I'm the first guy that they see that they've swiped on that's American? Hell no. They're pros at this. And they simp all the way, thinking this woman loves them. Well, that woman's going to end up taking from them and could potentially take their life as it keeps happening. Joara, a silly, goofy movie called Cocaine Bear coming out. I think I've seen an advertisement for that. The Black Thoughts are pissed at Passport Bros. Why? According to y'all, we are all dusty, lame, and broken. Be strong and independent. Well, again, the competition has moved overseas. It was probably easier to maintain the relationship before internet. Now the smartphones make it too much of a risk. Well said. Manoj Roy from Mumbai is in the house. Good to see you. We've got Mr. Pliskin's been a while. Ice bath lifestyle. Are you in an ice bath right now? I like taking cold showers, but it's not the same. Pet wallet shortage. Oh, well said. Aren't the women here complaining about men leaving because they're the ones being left behind? I think you're right, Lisa Smith. I'm not going to 3 or 4 countries just to buy 304s. Well, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of guys, I get the idea. Okay, I'm going to go somewhere where Americans are in high regard and I think I can get dates. You know, a lot of people are pitching this, a lot of advertisements. Go overseas, foreign women, they love American men. You can find happiness and love. But what they fail to remember is number one, these women that are waiting for passport bros have been ran through. Probably more than the 304s here. Maybe on the same, maybe similar, but they have been ran through by multiple men coming through. They have the way they make their money is from passport bros. And if they can't get all the money, they make sure their cousins Juan and Vladimir are part of that equation. Guys, it's not going to work. It's dangerous. AWOLs are worldwide. Hypergamy knows no language or culture, says Mile High Ronin. Damn right. I wish guys would realize that. Brad, I'm convinced women have me around for specific things they need. I'm now the finance guy for investments, plumber, and electrician for this one woman. I told her I do siding and windows too. The moment you say you do anything, they will get to you like flies in honey. Ratify my plug tonight. Central, I'm interviewing Ms. Brianne LaFay with MGTOW and Finian. Shout out to MGTOW Cowboys channel. Go and check out MGTOW Cowboys channel as well. Good to see you, brother. Anyone that was born with a wiener are the envy of Western harlots. There you go. Michelle O'Rourke back from Europe. Good to see you. Relationship cannot go straight if power balance is provided. It can only go straight if men have all the power. Well said. Hookers should never have a place to live. That's not the way of the world. Megatron 84. These dudes that send money overseas to women that are hurt because they get used. I have no sympathy. It is the exact same that men do in the States, only in a different culture and a different language. Well said, Jason. Now you wake up an ice bag overseas after being drunk. Oh, there, I see what you mean. Well said, Mr. Pliskin. Getcha. If you wake up in an ice bath, right? D-Man 50 with the shout out to MGTOW Cowboy. Good to see D-Man. Appreciate that, brother. Passport bros are simps with air miles. Mysterio from Winnipeg. Well said, brother. Never give women money. They never respect it. It's like when you give something away for free, people don't really they don't really work for it, right? If you give something for free. Foreign women equals same inside the box, just a different wrapper. Steven from Arizona. Don't buy 304s because they will arrest the Johns. You never know what's behind that name or that face on a phone. The male soldiers who couldn't get an American girl had at least one Korean girlfriend. Very different in other countries what women value. And that was in the 50s and 60s. GI, $5 GI. Move in silence, MIS. Do you think Dan Blazarian is at risk? Brass balls? Well, he's got a lot of money, so he probably got a lot of people that vet women. But he could be. Is any man safe? Right? That's what we have to answer. Only women I give money is the cashier, but I get the groceries in return. Understanding transactions for 300 Trebek. Mr. Pliskin agreeing the ice bath. You either wake up in an ice bath or you don't. It is a reason Saudi women are asked to wear the hijab. Minaj Roy, well said. So we are almost down to the last few weeks. I have to step away for a bit. In January, I will be in the hospital giving birth to my son. Congratulations on your upcoming newborn. Well, keep in touch. Make sure you take care of your husband and your son and your daughter, I believe. Met up with a bunch of people from high school. Amazing how women my age look so old to me now. The single ones throw themselves at you and ask 1,000 questions. Because the attention and validation has now been buried. They need your attention. They can't get it. No longer are they 22 years old. Why is the cartel beheading passport bros? Because the passport bros are trying to get their 304s. If I let women in my department take over last Thursday at work, our dialysis team would have been in chaos. Mysterio from Winnipeg. Well, again, men have a logical brain and women are more emotional. I have perfect response to that. As I was raising my boys, I would tell my boys, if you want to go and play at the park, clean up your room. Within 10 minutes, the room was clean. To my daughter, if you want to go to your friend's house, clean up your room. Make your bed. An hour later passed. She did not make her bed. She made every excuse up in the world. Dad, but I had to put my little pony away, and I had to do this, and I had to do that. Men go straight to the goal, and women go around it. Certain countries attack different crowds. Passport bros like certain countries. And same when you see passport hoes, they zero in on certain countries. Absolutely. The people going down to Dominican that are looking for women, guys, those women they've been ran through. They're only looking for one thing. You're just the next guy for the new day. I buy most everything with cash, no debit or credit card. Well, very smart, John Boston. And you're not tracked either. It was subject in my course, MIS Management Information System. Now these post offices are lengthening the arrival of passports now. They want all men to stay in their neighborhood, stay in their state, stay in your lane, Jerron Markel. Is that what they're saying to everybody? They don't want that to happen because the courts dry out of money when men go overseas. Keep in touch, Michelle, and be safe. Same, John, I only use cards when I must make online purchases. Pretty soon they're trying to get rid of cash. So we have to go to the barter system. Who ages more, men or women? It depends. But I would say if a man takes care of himself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, he will do fine. But I've seen a lot of men that have hit the wall. I know guys that are 40 that look like they're 60. So the wall hits men, but we can delay the wall hitting us and age a lot slower if we take care of ourselves. Do you recommend storing cash and gold in house like Jeremiah? Ooh, you like Jeremiah, babe? So do I. That's a good question. You would have to store it in places that are completely whacked out, like in under a bush in your yard or something weird. I don't know about storing cash and gold in your house because that shit can be stolen. But you never know. All right, let's see. Be smart, keep your wallets full and happy before the women get their hands on them, and impulse buys are unacceptable. Keep your wallets full and happy. FJT or Giga Chad, I was talking to a Latina overseas, asked her if she ever heard of passport bros. She said yes. She said that not all, but most of women in her country are looking to get easy money. There you go, guys. Listen to FJT's voicemails. Check out FJT's channel as well. One of friend has 3 marriages, paid 1 alimony for no reason. Wow. Rev is back. Good to see Revster down in Georgia. He's living the life. Good to see you, Rev. Make it out to Utah. Let's hang out again. Men are the economic engine that drives productivity. What do engines need? Fuel. Well said, Jerron. Harshit from Punjab. Good to see you. Mysterio, I see lots of women pulling the plug on relationship. There is no counseling to fix it. Yes, counseling is a joke. Counseling is another way of fleecing the man's wallet. I've been in it. If you work out and eat healthy, you can be in great shape probably by your late 50s or early 60s. You can look good if you take care of yourself. Women age like milk, and unfortunately, fact for life. I think God intended that women, Lisa, had their life between the 18 and 30 in terms of physical to bring kids in, to attract the right men, and so forth. I've seen women age good if they take care of themselves and have a good attitude, like a happy attitude. Cash is trash and gold is very centralized. Hold Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. She also said that most of the men in her country that go after passport bros are secretly married. Her words, not mine. Me and her had a good laugh about passport bros. You're absolutely right. FJT's spitting facts here, guys. That is absolutely. Check out his channel from D-Man. That is absolutely the truth. Most of them are married. Most of these women, especially in South and Central America, have already had children by the age of 15. It is absolutely very common to see 13 and 14-year-olds with children. What do you think about Jordan Peterson's advice about a stable married life? I think I'm not against marriage. I just don't recommend it. And I don't believe that 98% of women are marriageable. But if they are, it's going to be very difficult in today's environment. He's what, 10 years older than me. He comes from a different mindset. You know, maybe it might work. There are exceptions to the rule. Hope that answers your question. Get a safety deposit box. Only a court order can confiscate your bank safe. We'll have to see there. Carl says, I never knew happiness until I became a passport bro. I'm now the proud father to my wife and her boyfriend kids. Good to see Carl. Good to see our man pooping while standing. My favorite economic doom channel is Boom Boom Bear Bust. I think I've seen him. I watch Full Spectrum Survival and Jeremiah Babe. I was watching Dan allegedly, but that guy kind of annoys me. Patriots won. I'd say most women age like milk because all the parties and junk food they have in their 20s. A lot of boxed wine too. Yeah, shout out to FJT paying off his house. Good for him. I'm good, John. Hope all is well with you. Oh, my bad. Brother Rad, Hemi's in the house. Good to see Hemi. Jeremiah Babe says to leave cash under your mattress. Yeah, he's not a fan of the banks, that's for sure. Is it prudent to invest in silver? I think silver, anything that has value is something good. I would probably be cautious, maybe 5% in silver. Marriage counseling is for women to leave the relationship guilt-free, like confusing at church. She then can say she did everything possible and it's your fault. And the counselor agrees. Absolutely. When I went, she just does it. It's like checking off the box. Oh, see, I went to marriage counseling. Still didn't work. Doesn't work, guys. Total scam. Counseling is bullshit. Therapists practice their practice through the lens of patriarch theory. Well said, cowboy. No waffling in that statement. Marriage is only stable if men have total power. And to have total power, Menage Roy, you would be toxic. Shout out to the Revs channel. Most have been indoctrinated to believe there's nothing outside of your block and you can't go out. Correct? Why women are turned off by guys who talk about red pill knowledge? It's because women want guys that don't care about them. They think us red pill are needy just about talking about them. Good to see you, CJ. Well said. Kanye and Kim. Another profile divorce. It doesn't matter who you are, but those guys are whacked anyways. Shout out to Dak. I saw that he is going to be out of the hospital next week. Good for him. Jordan Peterson did say to women, when you get married and have kids, don't think getting divorced is going to put you in a better place. He's right about that, John. You lose money keeping money in the banks. You guys even know how the money system works? Go watch a movie called Money. Oh, I got to find out. It's on YouTube. You can understand. If you have $100,000, you can go open your own bank account because the government will give you leverage 10 times that. They'll give you $1 million for your 100,000, and you only have to keep 10% on deposit. I'm planning on shorting coin again. Well, let's see if it works out. What's your take on same-sex friendship versus male and female? I would consider same. Your bros before hoes. How about that? I don't like Full Spectrum because he keeps talking about Kelly asleep. Yes, he does bring her up quite a bit. He does have some good stuff, but a lot of them go off zero hedge too. Yes, I think he's got another week in the hospital. Counseling is another way of blaming a man for the stupid decisions she made, and the man will have to pay for it. Guys, counseling is just a wrestling match, and then the referee is the counselor. There's always going to be a winner and a loser, and guess who the winner is? Right? Steve in Arizona says, where do you see passport women going? To really easy Rastafarian places. I wonder if answered correctly, if counselors would say their success rate is dismal. Oh, they won't answer it because they want that money. They keep saying, oh, we're making inroads. We're making progress. Keep coming back 3 times a week, paying $300 a session. If you have the look she wants, your behavior has very little to do if she is attracted or not. Red pill guys tend to talk down the importance of man's look and think it's behavior and personality. Patriots won. I think looks have something to do with it. I think confidence has more in my world, that is, confidence is more important. Good to see our team in the house. That money in the bank is not yours, just like when you leave crypto on these centralized exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. Well said, Jerome Markel. Can you imagine if you had money in FTX? I hope and none of you guys had that. Mile High Ronan, peace sleeve ain't worth the squishy. The lottery has better odds. Thanks. Feminism, hypergamy, man. Man gets to keep the castle when he understands that theory. And this is what we're trying to pass this knowledge out to people. Fractional reserve banking. That's exactly what I'm talking about, MGTOW Cowboy. Gold and silver are used for hedging, not for investment. If there's a recession that is coming, invest your money on gold, make 30 to 40%, then sell it. And there's Roy, young guy. Mr. Pliskin, counseling is a cope strategy. Well said. Full spectrum would be cool if you stopped mentioning his Kelly. On my back patio, reading a Reacher novel in the sun, enjoying his life, says Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor. Good to see you, brother. Western thoughts are getting too much sex, and the foreign thoughts ain't getting much. Well said. Did you have your kids in the counseling? No, we never did that. You know why? Because they would shift it to everything dad did wrong. My med job is not too shabby. I know how to do it. That's the difference. I've been doing it for so long, Mysterio. I agree you think you would see women trying to nab a rich Arab sheik, but they be adopting African villagers. Even overseas, they're picking the wrong man. Well said, Stephen. Jerron Markel, I think I agree with that statement. FJT used to work with a passport bro, told me he went overseas to a brothel, paid a 10 and 10 chick $500 an hour. He told me that she burned him. Imagine paying around $2,000 for a flight and SDI. I don't even have to do the stream anymore because FJT just basically said what I was thinking. And at least what he got out of all that money being spent, he got his life intact. Guys, it's sketchy. You have to understand what you're getting into. Even going to Mexico, they drop little medicine droppers of little certain forms of medicine that knock you out, that steal everything, that you're left destitute, potentially with no life. Confidence is subjective because there are different kind of confident women. May seem a guy is confident if he has that bad boy look. I agree. I mean, it all depends, you know. Like, I think there's an exception to every rule. I've never had a problem with ladies, and I'm bald, and I'm not over 6 foot. I think your statement makes a lot of sense with a lot of women today. So investing in silver is to get ahead, invest, and sell for profit. Mysterio. So your med product sells itself. I mean, I have to push it. I just tell stories, Mysterio, in sales. If you tell a story, remember, stories sell, facts tell. Roofie, that's right, Mile High Room. You got to be careful, man. If you're going to a country, here is Rad's take, and you're staying in let's just say you're staying in an all-inclusive. If you want to hook up with a foreign woman, a woman in a foreign country, you would hook up with a woman that is staying there as well, and she is also a foreigner. There's your hookup. Life and success is more important than marriage. That's great red pill advice, Manoj Roy. Never, ever take a female's advice. Correct. Size shouldn't mean anything to us. I'm going to tell you, my sister is very attractive. She's 2 years younger than me. She's divorced her husband. She's exactly like the women I talk about. But her boyfriends in high school were ugly as F, disgusting. And she was very attractive. Went out with popular dudes, quarterbacks of the teams, and she would get with these boyfriends that were so redheads, skinny 6'3", 100-pound redheads that had no personality. Never trust the rosy picture of marriage. The devil's breath is a common drug to rob men. MGTOW cowboy laying it down in Chinatown. Absolutely. You got to be careful. And here's another thing. Only buy mixed drinks from, like, if you're in a Marriott or JW Marriott or even you got to be careful about that. Don't go and buy a mixed drink in Taqueria somewhere. Only buy bottled water where you take the lid off, or a can of pop, or a bottled beer. Do not buy bottled or mixed drinks unless it's, like, again, in the Marriott, in the Hilton, where it seems safer. One day I hope to convince my 23-year-old to watch your channel. He's self-supporting and works 60 hours a week. I've been encouraging him to keep his nose to the grindstone. Have him stack bills, Lisa, right now. That's great advice. My coworker was drugged when he and his wife went to Mexico. I don't drink, so I don't think I can be taken. Do you think they drug food as well? Possibly. I mean, people got to use their heads in certain places. You know, you got to understand where you're at. You got to understand the culture, the language, the slang. You know, I mean, if I went to Philippines, I don't know how to speak Tagalog. I would be just hanging around American places and just going, just doing a lot of public type tours. But and same with Thailand. I mean, but I know South and Central America. I don't know those other areas. I saw this video from a woman I never heard of. Her name is Courtney Ryan. She interviewed women about men, how much money they should make. The delusion is insane. Delusion for 300 Trebek. Don't drink in nightclub if you in Mexico only drink bottles you bought in the market. Correct. J Love. Well, I mean, I think there's guys, I would agree with Patriot One. There are the majority of women that only look for looks. Absolutely. And there's others that don't. Ugly males are the best target for these thotties. They can control them easily. I think you're right. Ugly dudes will do anything. It's feast or famine for them. JB keeping hundreds of thousands on his property is insanity. Yeah, I wonder when he's going to move to Alabama or wherever he's supposed to move. Who got divorced first in your sibling? My sister. My sister did. Then my brother. Hi, Router. Your followers really don't know. I'm from Central America. I'm 50, and I've been traveling there since a baby boy. Latinas are all apex predators, all of Central and South America. Mr. Sammy, good to see you. He's absolutely right, guys. Again, if you want to marry a Mexican or Guatemalan woman, you move there to a very little pueblo, also called aldea, village. You set up shop for 6 months. You go to the Catholic Church for 6 months. You try to find if there is a virgin, simple, traditional woman that wears traditional dress. That is the only way you would do this. They can drug you by throwing dust in your face. FJT. Well said, guys. And you got to be careful. You cannot be messing around with places and cultures you don't understand. Marriott and Hilton is an extremely expensive hotel in India, and even rich people don't go there. It's affordable for a lot of folks here. It depends on which one. I was in SC and had some big booty Tamikas at the hotel ask me where I was from, if I was alone, single, why was I at the hotel? I was like, are they setting up to rob me? Yeah, all these questions. If you're going to hang out with a chick at a resort, make sure that chick is foreign, staying there as well. And be very careful with that as well. You got to be smart. When I think passport bros, my image is of 50-year-old men who can't land a woman in their social environment. You're right. A lot of these guys that have been washed up by a woman or divorced or gray divorce, they go overseas to try to find a 25-year-old. They're only interested in the money. They've got 3 or 4 Johns that they're trying to mess with. John Boston, stupid men will marry 300-pounders. Rev says, I got to meet some of Rad's family earlier this year. Good down-to-earth people. Can't wait to get back to Utah. Rev can always stay with me. Latinas being exposed on this stream. It's the Latina that has bought into the passport bro world that we're exposing. What was your tale on the females of South America when you visit them and watching their interaction? Guys, in Guatemala, in the lake, all the way up in the mountains, Lago Atitlan, there's women on Instagram, Guatemalan women taking Instagram shots with their boyfriends taking them. It's no different, even in Guatemala. Keep your politics to yourself when you visit outside of North America. Well said, Mysterio. I always say I'm Canadian. AWOLs play with their prey before eating them. Backup plans will be required. No, and have a game plan. I think that's smart. Passport bros, have a game plan. Know where you're going. Ugly and nice pill blue guys are easy to control. Red pill ugly or Chad are not controllable. And women love the not controllable Chads. Timmy says a predatory female is a must read. Women around the world seek a man with resources for her to acquire. Well said, Timmy. And I have that book linked on one of my channels. Go read it. It's for free. They all see us as dumb gringos, a mark, a target, easy prey, a wallet, a bag, a schmuck. And most guys think because they're American or Canadian or foreign that all these women are going to give them everything, their virtue, their dignity, their support. No, they want your money. That's it. They want to be taken care of by you, by the next guy. She's got 4 or 5 guys taking care of them right now. Might as well go to Mustang Ranch for happiness over fooling around with Mexican house cleaning. Mysterio. At least you know the product you're getting at Mustang Ranch. My coworkers that have married foreign women have picked post-wall, overweight, single moms, and all I can do is shake my head. They could get that here. You're right, Stephen. There's some fantasy that a lot of men think that a foreign woman is just going to give them the world, mentally, physically, emotionally. We're trying to let guys know that that's not the case. They want your wallet just like the 98% here want your wallet. These countries, they really don't want foreigners or expats. These countries are taking notes and cataloging what's going on, says Jerron Markel. I agree. Mexico just changed their entry requirements. No longer is it 180 days. You have to have the border, whatever, the customs person give you 180 days. I am Canadian too, Rad. I know you are. I like to say it when I'm foreign, just because if I'm American, it's like I'm more targeted. I know a guy who was with a woman 5 years older than him, and she is 32. I said to him, get rid of her and find a younger woman. Not one like this will boss you around in time. I call it as I see it. John, I'd love to see you with that buddy that married. All the direct messages you told that guy and said to him, he still doesn't get it. You can't fix stupid. The apex like Tina, she'll turn you out, says the Rev. Well said, the Revster. I used to practice Spanish with a young Latina. She told me Cardi B is an inspiration for all women. There you go. FJT, laying the facts down to Chinatown. Women, especially, they love the Cardi B's. They think that's the apex height of a woman. The delusion. Delusion. I don't even know if delusion is too kind of a word. Retardation is got to be the word. In the firm on the beach, Tom Cruise was targeted by a local femme fatale. So was Samson in the Bible, right? Cut his hair. I identify as a conspiracy blank, and my pronouns are I told you so. my pronouns are FJB and let's go Brandon. Mr. Sammy says, we love you long time. GI, $5 GI, $5. Tom Cruise and Cristiano Ronaldo had jaw surgeries. They got better at looking with money. Well, that's what plastic surgery will do. I'm Canadian, c'est la vie. John Markel, Canadian. This is pathetic. Women do love men. You guys are just too lazy to improve yourself and become a high-value man. We would never leave a strong traditional man. Well, good to have Stephanie's comment here. I would say there's a 1% to 2% of you that do, but 98% are not recommended. But do appreciate the comment. Let me know where you're from. Cardi B is in the house. I'm sorry. Lisa Smith is one of our OGs on this channel. Cardi B. Joe Biden was listening to her song, WAP. That is the most disgusting song from the most disgusting artist in the world. I'm sorry. Even Rad can't stand that song. We all want to collab with you and Rad in the next one. We'll have our next collab will be basically based on the experiment of John's friend. Entitlement for $1 billion. Mile High Ronin. Stephanie, your wife left you because you were not masculine enough. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with that, but, it is what it is. Give us more of your perspective, Stephanie. You seem to be following all of the typical women that come to these channels and try to shame. Chameleon Purge for 300. I've started a campaign to get Cardi B placed on the new $3 bill. Truly an inspiration for young women everywhere. Oh, damn, that's funny, Rev. CJ's in the house. Rad, the dude with the 300-pound chick, I told him how to do a prenup and what to do. He said to me at a later time, not all women are like that. The idiot told a woman what I said to do. Jeez. That dude is, God bless his heart. Maybe someday he'll wake up. FJT, the trolls have a right. I appreciate every comment. Bring it on. It's basically those that say those things are basically showing me in real time what I've always talked about. Thoughts on Austin Torres? I don't know about that. I've got to look into it. Good to see you, Torres. Cardi drugged men in the U.S. Yeah, and she admits it. Joara, she admits it. Only fangirls have been buying homes across America, all done using money from weak men, as she laughs all the way to the bank. I hope that OnlyFans has a very miserable death. Rusty Rivers, good to see you, brother. Also, that female rapper who sang outside of that abortion clinic, so disgusting. To me, abortion is deletion. I don't believe it. I don't stand behind that. It's the most horrible, horrific thing you can do. Any man who gets a vasectomy isn't masculine enough. Now, why would you say that? Why would you say that? I'm just curious. We're not masculine enough. I was driving by the Boston Garden and they had a pic of Lizzo on the side of the building. How can someone be so fat like that? No idea, but she is not attractive to me. I'm not into the heavies. The not all women are like that phrase is such a played out deflection tactic. Oh, yeah. FJT. Because, again, fantasy versus reality. That's the only thing I can bring to that. John Boston's friend with a heavy wife is only with her because he does not think he can get anywhere else. I have seen a lot of women shallow howling. I'm telling you, I made a new term up, shallow howling, for John Boston. But I've seen a lot of attractive looking guys with very ugly, heavy women. You're like, what is he doing with her? Again, probably very wimpy, weak on the inside. Looks okay on the outside, but he's shallow how? She is a bit trying to make herself relevant, like most females, especially in this chat. There's very few women drawn that I even give any sort of credit to. I don't even credit my sister. Men and women don't all have to be parents. A vasectomy is a responsible action. Well, why do women use birth control? Or they say they do. They want to prevent unwanted or unplanned pregnancies. We need OnlyFans to buy homes because prices are coming down. What's going to happen when all these women, it gets so saturated? Where do they go next? CJ says, W's grow up on the emotional battlefield, do not engage. It's emotions. Emotions for 300 Trebek. So we ask ourselves, men can't find women here to love them and care for them like the 1920s. So they go overseas. They set themselves up for a complete robbery. They get robbed emotionally. That's the number one thing. They get robbed financially, number two. They get robbed mentally because they think that, someone told them to go to Cali, Colombia, and they're going to find some very beautiful woman that'll love them forever. And they finally get robbed potentially. What's the last thing? Physically. They get robbed emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. Is that really a good return on investment? Who invented birth control? It wasn't birth control in like the 30s or 40s. Probably the New World Order. Apparently, birth control is also there is a correlation between birth control and lesbians. You're absolutely right, Joara. I have seen billboards that talk about vaginal rejuvenation. That tells me that either they've had 12 babies or they've had 120 men. Mysterio, this guy at the wedding ceremony, said he didn't think she was going to show up when he met her. He's used to women not showing up on dates and bobs for rotten apples. He's going to the store and buying bruised apples. You ever seen a bruised apple? You have to cut the bruise out, right? But it's still not a good apple. It's bruised. However, in this case, those bruises don't go away. You can't cut them out. You can't cut the bruises out. But we tell guys, I get the idea that men want a companion. There's nothing wrong with that thinking. The issue with that thinking is that you're going to find that person that exists. You might, there's an exception to every rule, but for the most part, if you continue to look for that woman, John says man invented birth control. If you continue to look for that woman, you're taking your eye off your purpose. If a woman is supposed to be in your life, she'll enter it. I am a huge believer in subconscious, consciousness, quantum fields, quantum realities, frequency, and they will pop in your life when you least expect it. But if you're looking for it, you're pushing it away. And you're wasting time. You're wasting your purpose. Go to these countries and see the culture. Experience it. Take bus rides that you've never taken with chickens and crazy salsa music playing. And stopping off at little, villages along the way and getting a soda pop and just watching people interact and see how life is outside of the world. Don't go for women. Feminazis bail on marriage ASAP, especially if a bag was included. Well said, Mile High. FJT, even attractive guys are struggling with women. I had a Giga Chat ask me if I could coach him on getting women. He offered money and said he wanted the same success. I told him I'm not a PUA. Did you tell him to go and check out Donovan Sharp? My ex took birth control for medical reasons before dating me. She was off it when we were courting and dating Genuine Desire. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these women, Lithium 19, have my wife, when we first got married, was taking it she had really bad menstrual cycles. Apparently it's good for that. But I also, again, when you ever put a drug in your system, there's always side effects, regardless. Why are some childless women still having vaginal rebuilding and rejuvenation surgeries? Good question. Good question. I wonder why, Joara. It's not funny is in the house. Good to see you. Patriot One says you can't negotiate attraction. Either she is or she is not into you. I would agree with that statement. Yeah, within the first 20 seconds, they know. A great companion is a cat. Not only are they your personal exterminators, but they also ward off evil spirits. I can't deal with pets. Number one, you have to make sure that they're fed and taken care of if you travel. And I travel too much. But I think you're right, Jerron. I mean, dogs are needy. Cats are on their own. Cats are like the MGTOW of animals. They're out seeking. They're doing their thing. They go and poop in private. You know, they're very mysterious. Cats, but dogs are needy. Dogs always need attention. They need food. They need you to walk them, where cats do. So I agree in that statement. Mysterio, he went on plenty of whales and then sorted them by the highest weight. That's going to be a function in the future. That's going to be a filter, John Boston. How over 200 or under 200? Rev says, Rad, thanks to Stephanie, I just realized that I'm not a real man. Man, that vasectomy really was a big mistake. Too much money in my pockets. Rev, you're not a man, man. I'm telling you, you're soy boy. You're out there soying around. You're wimpy. You cry baby. You know, you probably drink box wine. You watch First Wives Club. You read Oprah magazine. You total wimp. Rev is the absolute opposite of all that. A great military guy we respect. You go to a country to explore culture, not to find women, says Marvel Elite 500. Correct. The sad truth is most men have no purpose in their lives unless they have a woman. And that is exactly what this chat is about. If you are only seeking women overseas, you have no purpose. Go overseas and see the cathedrals. Go see the cool mountains. Go see volcanoes. Go see lakes. Go experience food that doesn't exist. Oh, it probably exists, but, you know, culture food. Go eat only what, if you go to a country, don't go eat burgers and pizza. Go eat pabellon, bandeja paisa, ropa vieja. Eat custom foods. Find an attraction to something that's new. I was subscribed, Joara, but I'm not anymore. But I do like that guy. Rev, all the extra paper is hazardous to your health. D-Man 50. All that money in your pocket is so bad for you, bro. Rev, go find a woman to love. What's wrong with you? You need to get married. I love cats, had two, but can't admit it now after making fun of single cat ladies for years. There's dudes that like cats. I don't have cats. I don't have dogs. I couldn't even do a fish. I have a plant. That's it. And I have to water the plant. There are no rights that a male has that a female doesn't. So what laws are these feminazis fighting for now? Nothing. Again, men are disposable. Dr. Warren Farrell says men are disposable, women are protected. Simple as that. Does that not sum up Red Pill? Men are disposable in family courts, relationships, even fatherhood, whereas women are protected by the states, by the government, by the authorities. Why are they here? Lisa Smith says, it sounds like Stephanie was just mad that the snip is even available. Just another guy she can't fleece. Maybe, did I read her wrong? Well, if she's still listening, she needs to lay down in Chinatown because she comes in all guns a-blazing, blaming men. Calling me weak. Oh, I love it. I'm not going to fight that. I don't argue with women. But bring your comments, whether they're positive or negative, or they hate this channel, or everything I say is bullshit. I don't care. Bring it on. Let's have a debate. Let's have a debate. Again, I tell people, especially guys that have never been through family court, 29 months of it, never spent over 6 figures defending yourself, just in your lawyer fees. That doesn't include all the other fees. Not seeing your kids, having the po-po called twice, having the false alligators called. And then we can talk. That's why a lot of people ask me, no gatos. Con cuidado con los gatos. I'm a total cat guy and I have a cat as a pet. He actually saved me from 304 before. Good for you, brother. But again, let's have a debate. A lot of these young guys that are talking about how they know about relationships. Really? You might know about relationships today with modern day ladies that are between 18 and 25. I have no idea. But the reality is, have you been through court? Have you been a petitioner or respondent to a divorce petition? Have you had to modify? Have you had to reply? Have you had to go to temporary orders? Do you even understand what alimony is? Have you received for 29 months statements in your email from your attorney for you trying to get what's due, 50-50? And to protect you as a man and a father? Then we can talk. Have you had the cop show up on a false alligator? So I see a lot of these guys, and I just like to share my experience, right? Passport bros claim overseas women aren't like that. Tell them to bring that in the wallets back to America. Absolutely, bring them back. See what happens. Lots of TV shows about that, FJT. A lot of haters out there. It's all right. Weight, height, dress size will be dying sites as a sort. I need to create a website that excludes fat chicks and be called out by fat Karens on Twitter. Oh, those damn Karens. The older ladies are pretty chill, but agreed between those ages. Bingus. Good to see Bingus. There's a lot of older women. Ask Timmy Kramer about some of these gals over 50 he's hung out with. Brad, do you think that women's attraction changed? I mean, are they attracted to weak men instead of strong men? Yes. I think a lot of women like weak men because they're so masculine in their thinking, they need to have a feminine something. It's just a woman with a penis. Brad, you need a girlfriend and someone to cook and clean for you. There are plenty of women that want company. That's what everyone tells me, Rad. That's what I hear until they seek their hypergamous nature. Talked with the younger guy just yesterday, told him about the manosphere 2 years ago. Asked him if he'll ever get married. His reply, highly doubtful. Timmy Kramer. Yep. I'm not seeing my boys marry anytime soon. Like literally probably in their 30s or 40s, even if it's still around. Never let the Stephanies bring you down. D-Man Fitty. Well, I mean, she's more than happy to come on. If she's still listening, chat. She's probably not in the chat anymore. No perro. How did you survive your false alligators? Good attorney. Most weak guys just have to have a female. Even if she's ugly, they don't want to be a sore thumb in society's eyes of not having a female. Just settle. Yeah, I mean, Jerome Markel makes a great statement. Men, regardless of what the woman looks like he has somebody, right? That whole mentality of he having somebody. Rebel Gone with John just told me to say hi to him. Oh, right on. I'd like to do a collaboration with him, Rusty. We're here to educate. Well, we're here to educate and share stories. It's simple as that. The fleecing of America is the family court system. Did you know you can fight every attorney bill? They did not have audits on billing. That's another thing. How do you even know? And I had a good attorney, but I probably overpaid by 10% easily, if not more. That's how they cut you down. You work too much. You need to get yourself a girlfriend. It's just the programming, John, right? Stephanie's upset because Rad won't do 3 swings back on her. She might be attractive. Are you attractive, Stephanie? 6-year-old women turning to OnlyFans. Yes. It's delusion. Batman's back. Good to see Batman. Check out his channel. Good to see you, brother. A good stream yesterday with Divine. Average U.S. woman in their 20s weigh 160 pounds. 50 years ago, it was 120 pounds. Patriots won. When I was in high school, the fat girls were invisible. Timmy says Scottsdale is a breeding ground for gold diggers, mothers teaching their daughters the active war on men. It's passed down like genetics, isn't it? A quick response for a well-deserved thumbs up. I can't stick around because I'm buffering like a Karen out of ice cream. Good to see you, Arbero. Batman says never leave the States for women. In fact, I was listening to their stream last night and they talked about this. Good stream. Batman, put up a link to Batman's channel. We're doing great now that you're here. I have a boatload of false alligator stories. We'll have to talk about that, John, in our next live stream. 3.0. Typical feminist, in my opinion, they're a hate group. Well, they're just upset that they're not whatchamacallit, validated anymore. The women over 50 are nice and direct because that's all they have. They don't have their looks. Typically, most of them do not have their looks or their style anymore, their beauty, so they're direct. What do they have to lose now? Nothing. Thanks, D-Man, for putting up Batman's channel. Check him out. He's a good creator as well. Peter Parker, Batman is such a good show. He does good stuff. We did a collab, I don't know, was it 2 years ago? We definitely got to stream again. And let's put the brothers on as well. CGA used to show an OnlyFans grant. Was that the one that, yeah, I remember that. She had all these boyfriends. God, the illusion. It's been really hard to be a lady that was attractive in her 20s and teens and no longer has it. Stephanie, a fatty that has a tall black man in the profile. She's probably a heavy, yeah. Or I mean, sure, show us what you look like. Tom Likas would always say, send a picture of what you look like. I'm 5'3", 110. I'm beautiful. I've got D cups. And he's like, send a picture. And Dean, his right-hand man, his name was Dean. And Dean will show me. And if you look good, come down to the studio. He'd always say that. Remember that? So that's still, guys, if you go overseas, some niche of the world that apparently has these women that'll love American men, regardless of what you look like, whatever you have in your pocket, regardless of what you have in your pocket, you tell me where they exist. And then you come back and you return and report. Because I guarantee that woman that you're talking to on Colombian Cupid, on Tinder in Mexico, in Guatemala, has 10 men in the United States sending her $200 to $500 a month. They're making more money just off stupid gringos than OnlyFans. Banana pills will be included around the wall. That's Scottsdale, full of over 50-year-old women that have frozen faces and sticks of maces. Bingus says, main thing for me is how much money I have because I don't have a girlfriend. I am not anti-relationship. I am not anti-marriage. I don't recommend marriage, cohabitation, or kids. It's very rare to find a 1% to 2%er. And then you still have to vet them, and you still have to deal with all of the same issues. Is there a potential with the 1% to 2%? Sure. Could that potential end or go the way of the 98%? Yes. You have to be on your purpose. That's right, Gerard Markel. However, the only thing about Likas now is he's a flaming liberal. I don't understand men that are liberal. How can they be strong men? I just don't understand it because liberal men blame and deflect like a woman. Stephanie's man isn't satisfying her. She came to Radstream to get her rocks up. Well, she got attention. Let's just say that. And I read everybody's comment. She got attention from the chat and from me, which probably gave her Daily Dose of Dopamine. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a new channel called Daily Dose of Dopamine. I'm not anti either. It's just for me. And again, if you're married and have a great marriage, wonderful, right? I love it. Stay that way. Be a submissive wife that loves her husband. Put him first and you'll get everything in return. I used to tell my wife that all the time. Give me what I need physically, emotionally. I don't need a lot. 2 minutes of telling me that I'm a good provider and maybe, give it up twice a week and you'll get everything in return. It was a very easy formula. She didn't understand it. If I had zero morals, I would have created a fake woman profile and cut simps wallets on dating apps. They are so thirsty. Even the transformers are turning into women to get money. Let's have a look at Stephanie. Stephanie, let's see. Women that come to the channel that hate on these channels are usually pro-feminists, not very attractive, have been ran through, and so they're trying to find outlets for men to give them attention. Most women that come to this channel that aren't trying to be combative, are trying to understand who we are. There's a lot of women that have come to this channel that have teenage boys that have seen the 304 thottery out there, and they're worried for their boys. Patriots 1, marriage doesn't work anymore because laws and anti-Christian. Well said. CJ says staying single doubles your money from the start. Absolutely. Gerald says, in my experience with Asian immigrants, they do want a male provider, but they define provider as the ability to have a house and stable family. American women define provider as a millionaire. Well said, Gerald. Is she in love with you because of what you provide, or is she in love with you for you? No man needs a female. All men need God. All you need is within you. No female can give you that. Well said. That is the exact epitome of what my channel was all about. You do not need a female. What does she bring to the table? What's the return on investment? You need what's in you. And God is within. I am closer to you than your hands and breath. Women aren't taught to be a wife anymore. They used to be like that. Yeah, if you want a wife, take a time machine back to 1890 and you'll find one that'll stick around and give you the love. Well, at least she'll give you companionship. 2023 economy will be horrific. Single men will survive. We don't waste money on needless anything. Less is more. Well said, Timmy Kramer. That is absolutely how I live. That is absolutely what's needed for guys. Minimalistic living, just like FJT paying his house off. Passport bros, but she loves me. She loves me. She loves me. Do you want love or do you want companionship? How about that? I don't know about that pearly things. I've seen a couple clips, a couple shorts. Again, she's not a man, so that's all I can say. See, it's men who have to understand a female or we will die. Females don't have to understand men. They don't. Best thing a woman could do is understand the culture and the courts. Tempe real estate. It went up significantly. It's probably bottoming big time. They say a provider, but not only for providing money, not direction, morals, and leadership like in the good old days. Correct. Pharaoh says, I'm not spending money abroad. A woman remains a woman, same foundation, but different mentality. Well said. Modern tampons, men that survive marriage. No hate, just ain't me. Yeah, there's no hate on marriage. Again, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it for a man that chooses to be the captain of his plane. Ooh, interesting. Hammerhand stream taken down because he mentioned just fatty things. Happiness can be bought. Get a PlayStation, Xbox, or gaming PC. Let's talk about this real quick. Are men going overseas to find love or companionship? I would say companionship. Love is a trifecta of chemicals. Love doesn't really exist. We just label these chemicals, lust and euphoria, as love. Love dissipates very quickly. Very quickly. It's like a very quick deteriorating battery in a cell phone. Men seek companionship, support, someone that they can build something with. And eventually that love is a different type of love. It's not that romantic bullshit love. It disgusts me seeing the simps and pearly things comment section. Oh yeah, FJT. That's one of my big pet peeves, watching simp comments. What can a woman provide that he can't provide for himself? A vagina to birth kids. That's it. Very few women cook and clean for their man. Very few women will scratch their man's back, will take care of them, will do everything necessary to sacrifice everything in their life for a man. Stay away from Russia women, says Old Christian Henny. Good to see you. They love your country now. Oh, they'll come here. They're Western. Fat shaming should be allowed because it's not healthy to be fat. I agree with that statement. I love watching fat acceptance videos. Mile High Ronan says, Pearly Simps, suspect AF. Couldn't agree with you more, brother. Simps are imps. Impotent. Simping ain't easy. Timmy says, real estate in AZ has been stifling dead for 3 months, running suicide watch for realtors and loan officers. Guys, and he said, Timmy's laying it down in Chinatown. You got to understand how you can live out of your car. If everything came to a head, you had $1,000 in cash in a car, could you live out of it? Could you fast 3 days a week, eating one day for $5 a day, living off the land, and be okay? That's really what this methodology is about. Or do you need to have all the conveniences of modern day living? If you can do that, then you can survive. Just Pearly Things is a chameleon in disguise, and she'll come out like Fema Sapien. I don't trust them. Again, you're talking men's issues, and you're a woman. I'm very suspect about that. Overseas love is her wanting you to pay for her and her family. Stop providing financially, and see how long that love lasts. FJT. FJT's philosophizing today, the modern day woman and love in overseas. Well said. Never self-delete, guys. Just like that Christian Christensen. He gave all his power to a woman that did not like him. Is there irony in that? What's up, guys? Girls are now fighting for equality. Yeah, and when they get it, they'll still want it more. Body positive people who are fat try to cope saying, but some people are naturally fat or big boned. That's another one. They never show their diet. They always say I'm big boned. There's no such thing as being big boned. Fat shaming saved my life back in high school and still does, even though it's easier now that I've been watching what I eat for so long. I was the chunky girl back then. Just keep fasting and living a good life. My second sister was always heavy. She lost a lot of weight in fasting, but she's gained it all back because she's got this I'm a fat mentality. Guys, it's been a good stream. I'm going to cut it out now. I don't buy it either, brother. You guys have been awesome today. I learned this at a young age. I came across a lot of money, and I was blinded by the fact, being younger, what my ex was thinking at the time. Eventually, I had no more. That's when she asked me, I thought you had more money, and dumped me. There you go, Bingus. Ain't that the truth? People support divorce and say, you go, girl. I agree. Brad, what's your opinion on Islam? They seem to be reigning in their women, but again, the internet has basically flattened all of the philosophies. Hold the line, brother. Who we got? 1992. Brazilian women just want a green card. Yes, good to have you. 7 million men have opted out of working or looking into jobs. For years, men have been told by the society, we don't need you. Correct. Correcto mundo. Thanks to everyone. Let's just shout out to Travis. Travis, send me a link again to your music, and I'll put it in one of my intros. This has been great. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and for God's sake, don't run to a different country to find love. I'm out.